Tonight, I know it's been 2 weeks, but we have to talk about Tom Brady. What does this mean having his 7th Super Bowl ring? How many more will this man have before he retires? Then, Snowpocalypse 2021. If you live in Texas, we had Michigan weather. Me and Mad Mike were right at home. We went out helping, pulling people out of ditches, driving around in our four-wheel drive, and I got to work every night in my minivan. But what does this mean when politicians from up north use what happened to Texas as a way to gain political clout? Well, Ted Cruz didn't help himself by going to Mexico right in the middle of the week. And AOC, everybody knows her, jumped on to get some political clout as she raised a whopping $3 million to help those oppressed victims of this weather here in Texas. Did she really mean to help people? Or was she just trying to help herself? I'm glad to be back in studio. Everybody's here. We're going to have a great time. If you are a musician or a creator that creates contents, short skits, videos, let me know. I want you to be on the show. Mad Mike is here. I'm here. Who else is going to be here? I don't know at the time of this taping, but if they show up, we're going to have a great time. I'm Mike Allen. This is the Radio Man Cave, and you are now on the air. The views and opinions on the Air with Mike Allen show do not reflect the views and opinions of other shows associated with Fort Kick-Ass Productions. This show is not suitable for viewers under the age of 18. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. I'm Mike Allen, and I hope everybody is thawed out after last week. Down here in Texas, we had Michigan-type weather as we got down into the, below 10, and we got almost 2 feet of snow. Now, I know all you folks up in Michigan, it's like 2 feet of snow. That's like Wednesday. Yeah, we don't get snow down here in Texas, so it was quite the event. A lot of things happened. A lot of the rest of the country is taking advantage of what happened to us to kind of kick us in the nuts, relatively speaking, because we have our own power grid, and that power grid failed. Well, the power grid didn't fail. We'll get into that. And, of course, politicians all over the world, all over the United States anyway, are jumping on board to take advantage of our misfortunes to either promote themselves or make a political blunder that possibly could cost them their seat in our government. Of course, we're talking about Ted Cruz going to Cancun. Wish I could have went with you, Ted. And AOC, she raised $3 million, which sounds like a lot if it's an individual, but to Texas, $3 million is nothing. And before you go saying, well, it's the thought that counts, you have to think about the motivation. We'll dive into that. Of course, we have our resident Republican here, and I'm sure he has all sorts of great conspiracy theories that we'll pick through concerning that whole thing. Now, we didn't go on the air the Monday after the Super Bowl. I apologize for that. That was me. I made the decision. I just wasn't feeling it. A little bit hungover from the Super Bowl. And, of course, the next Monday, we had no power because of the storm, so we weren't on the air last Monday. So it's been 2 weeks, but we do have to discuss 7 Super Bowl championship winner Tom Brady, and if we get to him. Lots of other stuff going on, of course, that we'll catch up with. But I'm glad to be back in studio. We've got a lot of stuff. Again, this year, every time we try to get on track, something stumbles out the gate. Last year it was the pandemic and, of course, the work situation. This year it's been a storm, kind of setting everything back. But we will continue to build this show into what I envisioned it to be. So hang tough. But let's say hello to everybody who's here in the studio today. Of course, you know me. I'm Mike Allen. To my right is our resident Republican, Leland Freeman, the Sky Marshal. In the booth is Mad Mike sitting in his corner. And as always, the player to be named later is steering the Starship Radio Man Cave. Alex is here also. Welcome, guys. I'm glad to see we're all thawed out.
Is that what we're going to call it now? Radio Man Cave.
The Starship, United
Radio.
Starship Radio Man Cave.
What? I thought we were calling it something
You
different.
hear that, Elon?
The Millennium Man Cave.
We're going to be your first intergalactic
Manhole.
radio show.
Intergalactic kegger.
And to my right is
Radar.
Radar,
It's the proper level. We've got you at the proper level.
Is my mic even working?
Yes,
I
it's
can hear
working.
you just fine.
Also, why does this microphone smell like solvent?
What is that? Salt?
It smells like
CLP?
Yeah, it smells like Hoppy's number 9.
Oh, probably because I cleaned my pistol in the man cave and it got on the desk and then I sat down. I thought you'd appreciate
You got
that.
to be more
I thought
intentional with your spray.
I thought he would appreciate having a show talking into a microphone that smelled like a firearm. I don't know. Maybe it's just me being
Do
thoughtful.
we have more Hoppies laying around?
Probably.
All right, let me get some of that.
Dab a little behind the ears. All right. Well, we just like everybody else. Last Sunday, I was actually shooting a wedding. I shot video and pictures for a wedding, and
Good for you.
During ice storm number 2.
after church is when the weather really started setting in. It got cold quick.
Yeah.
It got dropped down to like the 20s.
I was making art.
Yeah, he was making penis art, but so I took off. So I took off in the man van and picked up all the food for this wedding that got relocated to the people's house, and it was a beautiful ceremony. We had a lot of fun, and then I drove home that night, and I've got camera footage of that on my dash cam, and it was getting bad. I mean, the black ice was getting really bad, but the snow hadn't started coming down, but it was blowing snow, that fine blowing snow.
Yeah.
And then Monday morning I woke up and one of my legs had kind of snuck out from under the covers, but the power had went out. I was like, why is my leg numb? What the hell?
Oh, man.
And that was Monday. And of course, our power was out, but through it all, we had gas and water. So we weren't actually that bad. We just didn't have any power. How about you, Leland?
We didn't lose power or water.
Well, look at you.
We actually took a couple people in because they lost.
Good for you.
So how come you didn't have anything cut out? You live next to a hospital or by?
That's what we think, that there was a hospital just down the street, so we think that's the reason.
You were on that grid. A lot of people had that. They didn't lose anything.
And we didn't lose water either. So
you wouldn't because you were all on that grid with the hospital.
Well, what the big thing is that they buried the water mains in my part of my neck of the woods deep enough that it didn't freeze and break, like what happened in the city of Austin, where they had a ton of water main breaks.
Yeah, here in Hutto they didn't break either.
They must have buried them more than 6 inches below the ground.
I don't know. All I know is they didn't break.
And
our house fared well.
And my Jeep it doesn't have 4-wheel drive, so it was undrivable as of Sunday. It's like I tried to.
So hold on. So your Jeep was you say your Jeep was undrivable?
Yeah, but
so you didn't go anywhere.
No, I didn't go anywhere.
And you didn't do that because why?
Because the Jeep was undrivable. I went with a friend of mine.
And it's a what?
No, hold on.
It's a what now?
So Sunday, you didn't. So when was the first time you drove your Jeep?
Before, so from Sunday to, I believe, Friday, I didn't drive it.
Because it was undrivable.
Because it kept spinning out in the ice.
Because it spun out in the ice. Not drive it.
It's better than that than to crash into something.
Do you know, and Mike can attest to this, that outside of the shenanigans we went with Ashley, which is his 1996 Ford.
1997.
No, it's a 96. It was built in 95, but it was marketed as a 96.
Oh, mine was a 97.
Just like mine was built in 95. But
Do you know that during that time, from Tuesday night all the way till Sunday, I went to work every night driving a 2014 Chrysler Town and Country.
Front wheel drive.
You think that made the difference?
Yeah.
It makes a huge difference.
That's
why I don't see rear-wheel drive cars up in the north. You either see all-wheel drive or you see...
We have all sorts of rear-wheel
Tell
drive
that to
up in the
Volvo.
north.
You either see all-wheel drive...
Volvo has a low center of gravity.
Or you see front-wheel drive cars up in the north.
Or it could be that I just know how to drive in that shit.
I know how to drive that shit too.
Yeah.
Well, then why didn't you go driving it?
Because even at like 2 miles an hour, I was getting zero traction with the tires that are on my vehicle.
Dude, I was going the
had
speed
bald
limit
tires.
everywhere in my Subi.
I had bald tires. I mean, I wasn't going the speed limit because I didn't trust the people around me. I was driving the speed to keep me away from all these Texans that
Even
don't know how to
going
drive.
2 miles, even going 2 miles an hour, those tires on that, they had zero traction. So the safe, prudent thing was to park it. Now, one of the guys that we had at the house, I helped him. We went back to his place to retrieve some stuff because he didn't have power. And yes, I did get to go out and see what it was like that was on Tuesday. And he had I think he had a Ram 2500 with a Cummins. So it was 7,000 or 8,000 pounds curb weight. So it had the weight to give it more traction over the rear wheels. His toolbox.
You own a Jeep.
That doesn't have 4-wheel drive. I inherited it. Wasn't if I was to buy it, you don't ever buy a Jeep without 4-wheel drive. I know.
Alex, how did you do with your Subaru? You know that's the car that your grandma and grandpa raised me on.
Yeah.
Subaru.
The Subaru GL, right?
A DL.
DL.
Yep. If you want to Google that, 1976 Subaru DL 4-door sedan. That was my first car, and I used to put snow tires on the front 2 tires, and just leave the back tires. You know, who cares? And we used to go 2-tracking.
I went and did some two-track. I went and did some two-tracking.
My dad was like, Mark, you need to take snow tires off the car. I'm like, Dad.
Did it blow the head gaskets?
No, I couldn't kill that car. I could not kill that car.
Really?
That car lasted not only from 1976, but it lasted through my high school years. And my dad sold it for $50 when I went to the Army. And it was still running.
So
$50 in 1985 money.
Yes, yeah, $50 in 1985 money. That was like
$80.
$80.
All I'm saying is for all the critics out
Had
there.
no floorboards in the back either. It was the cleanest car I ever owned. It never had trash in it.
All the critics out there of my glorious, amazing SUV, all of you can suck it long and hard.
Well, I would tell you this. I will never.
Dude, this thing is sweet.
I will never, ever again talk shit about Ashley.
Yeah.
That car was amazing. We actually pulled a huddle police officer out of a ditch,
Yeah, that was awesome.
which is amazing.
Brodozers, Jeeps.
Oh, yeah. Tell them about the brodozer you pulled out.
Oh, dude, that was the best. So we're like, hey, we're going to stop at the 7-Eleven because Patty really wanted more booze or something. And I'm like, all right, cool. You know, since we're driving over there. And it's obviously closed. There's like a super huge line. So like we're leaving and I see this giant like lifted ass F-250 Platinum Edition with the giant obnoxious, chrome wheels with the stretched out, tires. Like this thing does not go off-roading. It's just a giant obnoxious.
Yeah, it's just a big small dick energy truck.
Yeah, and it clearly has a live front axle. And I'm sitting here looking, and this dude's like spinning out in the McDonald's parking lot over there by the 7-Eleven. And I'm like, hey, dude, you need help? And he's like, yeah, my 4-wheel drive isn't working or something. And I go in there and I look and like, yeah, it's not engaging, which is funny enough because that wasn't the first person I heard had issues with their 4-wheel drive. But
that's because you know why? Because they buy a 4-wheel drive truck and then they never use it.
Yeah.
So if you never use it, it's not going to be ready. Over time, it just degrades.
It seizes up.
Well, I mean,
Well, it doesn't seize up. Just the moving parts to engage the 4-wheel drive. If you don't use them, they
But
just kind of.
This was like a fairly new truck.
Seize up.
So
Yeah, no, this was probably in the last like 10 years.
No, I would say not even that. This was probably like a 3 or 4 year old truck, if that. So I hooked this dude up.
Oh, with big stupid rims on it too.
Yeah, it was just obnoxious, man. So I hook him up, and his girlfriend's in here like, this guy's dressed up in like,
Douche clothes.
gym shorts and like Vans, and he's like hops out and he's like, yo, I'll help you. And I'm like, just get back in your truck.
It's
and
like 10 degrees outside.
If you're inside of a truck, Leland, it doesn't matter what you're wearing because obviously there's AC inside the car. So,
Why would you need AC if it's 2 degrees outside?
Because I run hot. Because maybe I grew up in cold weather. This is my story. So Umgawa.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the snaps you sent me was of you like with the windows down
Yeah, dude. I was just
and like snow. Like,
Okay, I will say this though. The reason he's saying the window was down because he was hot.
yeah. it
The
gets-
window was down because it was broken. Let's just make sure.
And
let's
it was
just make
hot.
sure we. Let's just make sure we have that.
broken and hot.
He just couldn't roll it up. So you know.
Just like I like my women, broken and hot.
Oh,
Anyway,
come on, man.
hey man, this
It's
is
our first Monday back after like 2 weeks.
Hashtag stripper wife 2021.
Oh my Jesus. But so anyway, this dude is sitting in here and his girlfriend is just livid, putting on like that crossed arms,
Like, why did I-
angry,
that-
pouty face.
That whole why did I swipe right?
Yeah,
look?
like why am I stuck with this dude? And like Hannah's in the car with me. She's like, "We're gonna get stuck. We're gonna get stuck. This is gonna be crappy." And I'm like, "Shut the hell up, Hannah." So I have Patty filming, and I just like, and I gas this son of a bitch because I'm on solid ice, and like I get it to move a little bit because this truck weighs probably 2,000 pounds more than my truck does. And I'm on ice, and
At
his shit
least.
isn't moving. So eventually, I get it to catch pavement, and just like it was like nee 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 nee, and drag that dude. He eventually gets loose, and I'm like, all right, man, I'm out. And he's like, yeah, thanks, dude.
Thanks, man.
The video that I saw that you had sent me
should-
when you were pulling them,
Oh yeah,
and your tires are just
all
spinning.
Four of my tires
just
are
going
just
and
spinning.
going. His tires, like he wasn't helping you at
No.
all. I bet
Zero.
he had the brakes on.
probably
but he had the
go- was he
brakes
going
on
in
for so
reverse?
long, and then realized like, oh, the brake is on,
Yeah,
and then put it in gear, and then that's when you jerked forward.
yeah, it was
Because he was feeling so emasculated from his big old truck being pulled
Yeah.
out by a
Getting pulled out by a
26
POS.
26,
5-year-old
yeah, 25
shit box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you right now, if any of the
It doesn't even have windows that work.
if HPD's
It
out
has
there,
three.
you owe Ashley at least a year of
At least.
no ticket day.
Yeah. I mean, that thing was out running supplies, picking up people.
Oh yeah, then he went out and picked up a paraplegic, got her where she needed to go. I mean, Ashley earned her stride. I will never talk shit about your truck again, man.
I was hauling.
built Ford tough.
It was wild. This whole time I'm like over here having my own little private
Well,
like, soundtrack
Leland,
party.
I'll say Davis actually rebuilt that truck. That is Frankenstein's monster.
Oh, yeah.
big
any,
time.
any vehicle that holds a Frankenstein's monster.
Big
I
time.
mean, there's like I got the truck for $400 and I put way more.
way more than that into it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just the
It's like,
tires
it's like
alone.
it's like getting a mutt from the shelter for free than spending $2,000 on medical bills throughout its life. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you know, information has come forward that all this
Allegedly.
kind of allegedly, some of this could have been avoided. And of course, anything on the internet, take it with a grain of salt. I have not had any time to look into this, but if anybody's watching and would like to jump on the Googles and then jump in the comments and let us know if you see something similar. Basically, Texas saw this coming. The governor requested that the EPA lift its limitations so that the generators could run at full capacity.
Department of
and-
Energy, yes.
And the Department of Energy denied Texas's request.
And they said, "Nah, dog, you freezing to death."
But what the governor should have done is say, okay, KMA, we're going to generate the power anyway so the state doesn't freeze up. What are you going to do about it?
What's KMA?
Kiss my ass.
Oh,
Oh, so we
Yeah, that was my question. If it was, if this was true, why didn't
well,
out of respect or some shit? Or,
I think because what happens is like because the EPA technically doesn't have a military. It's just Al Gore in like a robo suit. It's just like
It's something to
and
do
like
with the
Al
carbon credits.
Gore has like this giant robot suit that was built by Bill Gates and what's the name of that other nerdy dude who was in the wheelchair? Stephen Hawking. Built this amazing green energy Al Gore power suit that he would invade Texas with. He's like, tired of your fossil fuels.
Tired of your fossil
And like
fuels.
he has like a broccoli gun and like other
Well,
shit.
some of the now, of course, no disaster can go without being politicized. Some of the first stories that were coming out is that it was because of the green power
Yes.
that Texas was using, and that was debunked quickly. And I was one of the ones that jumped on that because I'm like, well, yeah, but then I got to looking into it.
I mean,
Do you know
not
that-
100% wrong.
Well, it's not 100% right either because most Scandinavian countries have wind and solar power, and they have weather like this
all the time.
all the time. So
Well, they have elves
They have
too.
they have elves to clean them off.
They
so-
have, they have antifreeze built into
Yeah.
the
so
which
e-
ours don't have.
but
to
either
save
way,
money.
either way,
Yeah, they're bird
green,
decapitators.
either way, the green energy that Texas uses only accounts for less than 13% of the total grid. So if that went down, the capacity or the rest of the grid could have been compensated by natural gas, coal, and water, and the other stuff that we're using. So the problem, from what I understand, from all the information that I've had gathered, the reason why the grid, first of all, the grid did not go down. It was shut down. And it was shut down to prevent it from going down. And it was prevented because, and that's another thing about the EPA thing, about the Biden or the EPA denying generation plants to run at full capacity. That's the first time I heard that, but it doesn't line up with the information that I found that the generators here in Texas are not built to withstand that extreme cold
They're also
because
not,
we never see that extreme cold.
Yeah.
They're built to operate when it's 110 fucking degrees out and you can't walk out your front door.
110,
we
dude.
lost-
110.
we-
yeah.
120, 150.
They're
you
like
know what I'm
designed
saying?
to survive
Basically,
hurricanes.
we lost 20,000 megawatts capacity, so we went from 65,000 to
Yeah.
40. Well, actually, more than 20,000. We went from 65,000 to 44,000 megawatts during the big blizzard
Quick
that
math.
happened Monday morning with the wind-driven snow. So yes, some of the turbines froze up, but also what happened is when they started shutting off the grid, shutting off the load to prevent the grid from going down, they also shut off water pumps, which fed a lot of these natural gas powered plants. They also shut off the pumps on the pipelines that fed the natural gas as well. So basically, it was a positive feedback loop where they were shutting off the fuel for these plants to generate electricity, and so you're losing generating capacity, which means they're shedding more load. Which
So what Leland just took the last 5 minutes to say, I said in one sentence.
Hey, aqua pump. Da-na-na-na-da-da.
Hey, you can't see. Check your camera there.
Oh no, it's the perfect amount.
It's a
you
perfect
just
amount
see
of
this silhouette of Mike
Sitting in the
a
dark.
chair.
and
Sitting
then
in
what
the
happens
corner
why they didn't
bench.
roll the blackouts is it actually takes about 5 times the amount of energy to restart a particular section of the grid than what it would consume when it's just operational. So they couldn't restart. They couldn't restart
Yeah,
one segment without killing another
Yes.
5.
So
Well, I didn't appreciate like the immediate like shit flinging.
yeah.
Like
Oh.
I'm not saying that my feelings got hurt or anything like that. Like, but
Oh, yeah. The whole
holy
country.
shit, dude! It was just arrogance, just absolute like people just not knowing what the fuck they're
Yeah.
talking
Yeah,
about.
was
see,
really
Texas, you think you're so good. Yeah, but I
As
had
the rest of the U.S.
But
is
you have to
also crippled with an ice storm.
But you have to remind the rest of the North that when temperatures get up to 90 degrees in Montana, you guys are falling out like flies. So I
Yeah,
don't
yeah. Let
wanna
me go
hear
get
it.
my snow jacket that I have like
Yeah, that I don't
none
ever wear
because I don't have one because
Yeah.
I just wear
Yes.
layers. You know, if it's 30 degrees in the morning,
With all
I
your-
have
with all your
flannel
houses-
and fleece and a raincoat.
with
and then
all
by
your
the end of
houses
the
up
day,
in-
I'm wearing a t-shirt in a bikini.
Oh yeah, today I was walking around in a t-shirt and shorts. Like 3
Yeah.
days ago, it was 20 degrees. So,
Yes.
and all you North Dakotans and Minnesotans up there with your houses and no AC.
Like I'll admit it kicked our ass. Like I went outside.
We were below freezing.
It
We were
was
about-
cold.
for about 200 hours straight.
Like,
And the big
holy
thing
shit.
was
All
like
I'm
one
saying-
night of it freezing. Okay, we're fine. The problem is when it went below freezing and stayed below freezing. We don't build our water supply with freezing in mind.
We don't build anything with that in mind.
No, because we'll never see this weather again, probably for another 10, 15
now,
years.
if we do see it again next year, that's going to be some wild shit.
Yeah, that's going to be not.
All I'm saying
Is there a way that we could time this around Christmas?
We don't bury our water mains. We put a lot of our water lines out in the exterior walls. We don't.
Well, we have
basements.
frame houses.
Yeah.
I mean, houses like mine. My house was actually built very well. The Kimball Hill builders that built this house, that are out of business, unfortunately, they did a fantastic job. None of my
bullshit.
None of my
that front room was.
Would you stop?
So cold in the winter and so hot during the summer. I lived there. All right.
None of my pipes froze.
Did you let the water run?
I didn't let it run or nothing. None of my pipes froze. It's well insulated. It held the heat. We used the stove. I did figure out why that front room was so hot, Alex.
Yeah.
Because the ducts above you had kinks in them.
Yeah.
I probably should have crawled up there earlier. But
hey, man, it's like really hot out in the front room. Like, I'm sweating. Can we have the AC on? Like, no, we don't. AC.
Well.
Yeah.
Just quit listening to such loud music.
Yeah, turn down your stereo; it'll cool off.
Have you tried not
that Kenwood probably did
a lot
run
of commercial
hot.
structures when they had their pipes break was actually the
that was an old stereo. That was a heat source in itself.
It was
I
actually
must say.
Well, a lot of these commercial structures that had their pipes break was actually the fire sprinkler systems at first.
Yeah, no, I remember.
Hey, MB, welcome to the show. Thank Tom. I've never heard of Tom Gully's show, but we'll have to check it out. My friend Matt Hazley, somebody who I got into broadcasting with years ago when we were both with Armed Radio, has a new company. And I haven't quite got all the things laid out yet, but there's going to be another show here in Fort Kick-Ass Productions called Monday Morning Brew. It's probably going to start next week now that we're a week behind because of the weather. And that's going to be an hour-long show in the morning starring just me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, every Monday, I'm going to have a new coffee company, like Black Rifle Coffee. I've reached out to, what's the other one? The one that has the funny commercials on Instagram. Is that Black Rifle?
You're talking about like the space coffee?
What
like,
yeah, Area 51 Coffee is Matt Hazley's. He's sending us a bag plus a mug, I think, and a T-shirt.
Yeah, then there's the coffee.
That's awesome.
And what's the company that Kelsey knows? Is that Black Rifle?
No, the company that's based out of Lake Travis or Lakeway is called Invader Coffee.
Invader Coffee.
Yeah,
So I'm reaching out to Invader Coffee, Black Rifle, Area 51 Coffee is and there's a lot of these small coffee companies kind of cropping up. If you'd like me to premiere your coffee on my show, it'll only cost you a bag of coffee and a mug. That's all that's required. You don't have to pay anything.
Would you like to try my coffee?
What's your coffee, Mike?
It's secret.
No.
I'll have to get my hands on a.
You have to get your hands on it to make it?
On a sample. Yeah.
You have to get your hands on to get a sample?
Well, basically what happens is I have to call up my family and then have them ship up coffee from our plantation.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Absolutely. If whatever company that you want me to promote, you can send me the bare minimum, a mug and a bag, just a small bag of your coffee so I can make it and drink it.
Wait, so Folgers sent you some...
No, not Folgers. I'm not talking about the big companies. I'm talking about the small startup companies like Invader and Black Rifle and Area 51, those guys. I'm not... Now, if Folgers wants to jump in here and give me $1 million, I'll jump on that dick. But I'm not... Right now, I'm just going to have some fun and hopefully get free coffee.
What do you think of...
Would you drink InfoWars coffee on the air?
If they send me a bag and a mug, I'll premiere.
What if I named it like
I'll drink
Chupa? Chupa coffee? Because then it could be like Chupa Me Bear Got Coffee.
Why Steven Crowder doesn't have his own coffee with his mug club?
Why?
Yes.
No.
I could make that happen.
No, just don't. Come on, man. Why would you? Why?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't understand.
I'm contacting my family immediately for this.
You have control of his microphone in there, right?
You still got to mute mine.
Do you see his screen right now? Do you think I have control over that?
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I do have control over that.
Yeah. You have control of everything. You're driving the ship, man.
Control over everything.
So anyway, from what I understand, the Texas grid was shut down to prevent it from being damaged to the point where they couldn't ever turn it back on. It's not built to withstand the weather, and that's why it was shut down.
Yes.
It is our own independent grid, and as I'm weeding through the politicization, is that a word?
Politicization.
Politicization of this
Exploitation.
event.
Exploitation is a good.
As I'm wading through it to try to find out exactly what's going on, basically what I'm finding is that one, no politicians were involved in a direct way because it's not run by the Republican Party, so everybody's bashing the Republican Party about it or the Democratic Party about it. It has nothing to do with a party affiliation. Just because the Republicans have the majority in the House and Senate in Texas and the Republican is governor, they have nothing to do with our power in Texas.
I'm telling you, it was Joe Biden fixed global warming, and that's why we had winter here.
There you go. So anyway, but what I think is, but moving forward, now somebody else also told me online, they were like, well, we had this happen in 2011. Guys, I've been here for almost 30 years. This is the first time since I have been in Texas that it has been like that. We had a freeze for a couple of days.
Yeah. We did have a
back in 2007. In 2011, it got cold, and we had a freeze of a couple of days where the ice, where there was black ice, and the ice was on the roads for a couple of days, but it was never a week long. We never, ever lost power for longer than a couple of hours, if we lost any at all. Here in Hutto, we didn't lose any power at all that I remember.
Well, it was hardly.
They did have a working roll in 2011. It got to that point where they did start rolling, but they actually knew how. They actually were able to.
I didn't lose that. Do you remember losing power in 2011?
No,
Alex?
The reason why we lost power is
I don't know, man. I was in 2011.
Oh, that was in 2011. No.
Oh no, I don't think we did.
I don't think we lost power.
I lost
not
power.
When we only got to, I think, about 15
I lost
degrees.
power in 2007 or 2008 for that storm because there was literally a pole right outside my neighborhood that ended up falling.
Yeah, but even then, I was working at APD then. I got up and went to work every day, and we didn't lose power.
The pole falling over, is an indication of the grid failing. That was
really just like
covered
shit happened.
Yeah, it's just
shit happens.
Yeah,
Encore or who the fuck out.
But there was a study done after that in 2011 that said that
Electrico company
that was sent to ERCOT says that you need to winterize your shit, and they didn't.
So
I mean,
now that's one thing that I did read is that after 2011, the company ERCOT did recommend to a lot of the suppliers that you need to prepare for an event like 2011, and there wasn't a whole lot of work being done to do that.
So I have
that when this hit, not only had they not, but somebody was even saying, one of the experts was even saying that even if they had done the winterization that was recommended back in 2011, it wasn't that much different than what we have now, and they still would have had to shut it down because we do not have -5 degrees and 4 feet of snow get dumped on us in a week.
Yeah,
Even one of the
entire
reactors at the nuclear plant in Bay City shut down because a sensor got tripped on the non-nuclear side of the plant, so the steam turbine loop.
So I'm going to say,
they had to shut one of the reactors down.
I mean,
so I'm going to say people are pissed off because they lost their power, and they're pissed off because it was really, really cold, and Texans don't handle cold real well. But here's the deal: I don't think anybody did anything politically or otherwise to intentionally fuck up. I just think that this is a one-off. I don't think I'm ever going to see this weather again, even though I'm like you guys. If they could time it around December 25th next year.
Yeah, if you can get better about it. Actually, it doesn't have to be around Christmas. It just whoever's in control of this, don't make it where it's a week after we have 80-degree weather is my biggest.
Oh, and then have
Fuck
70,
you.
then have 76 degree weather 3 days afterwards.
And then exactly.
Well,
yeah. Just like
he's got a point because you have all the vegetation. Think, oh, winter's done, and then starts to sprout up for spring, and then it gets killed by all the by this freeze. Now, on top of everything else, we did have a snowstorm back in January, and our local governments only budget out for brine for the roads for like one storm a year. So our roads, we had the black ice, and you had the freezing rain, and then the sleet, and the snow, then more ice on top. So we were completely unprepared from a infrastructure and government level for what happened last week here in Texas.
Because it never happens at that level.
And all of our snow
down here in my life.
Snow mitigation supplies we
And
used in January.
And everybody can sit here in hindsight and say, well, they should have spent the money, but those are the same mother truckers that are saying, why are you spending all that money on something we don't need when this over here needs this and this over here needs this?
Well, here's the thing: is if they buy enough salt, to use in these events, and then it just sits there forever.
You'll use it over the next
there.
30 years, yeah.
And that's not very, and using that kind of salt and antifreezes and stuff like that isn't very conducive to the environment. We're also right off of and
actually,
there's an aquifer right under Austin, so it's like.
And just FYI, Texas does not use salt. And let me tell you why I know this, because you don't have to have your cars rust-proof down here.
No.
Let me tell you something about salt. Salt is the most natural way to combat ice because salt comes from the ground. And when you put salt on stuff, it dissolves and goes back into the ground. It becomes, part of the earth. It's natural. So
Unless
the salt...
salt somebody's yard and just grow.
Yeah.
In concentrated effort levels, yes. But putting it on the road and having it dissolved and diluted with water, then going back into the ecosystem is not going to kill off a bunch of fish. It's not going to turn.
What happened to all the wildflowers?
It's not going to turn Lake Michigan into a sea, and it could kill that grass. But new grass is going to grow. I mean, it's not. What I'm saying is, it's not like a chemical that once a chemical gets on something, it destroys it forever. Because it's part of the natural process. But I'll tell you what it does do. It corrodes the shit out of your cars. That's why when you go up to Michigan and you go up to Wisconsin and Minnesota and North Dakota and South Dakota and all those northern states, Maine, and you see all these cars driving around with their fenders and sidewalls just rusted through. That's from the salt that they put on the snow or on the roads during wintertime. And so when you buy a car, you have to pay extra to have rust proofing. And what they do is they stick your car up on a rack and they take a thick black like a polyurethane spray, and they spray in every little nook and cranny in your car.
It's like Rhinoline the underside of your car.
Exactly, and you have to do that in every car. And it's always an added feature because the cars, of course, are shipped all around the country, and only certain states need rust proofing. So that's why if you ever move from Texas to Michigan, buy a new car, because any car you take from down here, within a couple of years, it's going to rust out.
Another thing to factor in is that they also have to treat the rebar in the concrete of the roads. So if you ever see photos of roads being built in northern states, the rebar's painted green. That is the rust-proofing paint that they stick on to prevent the rebar from rusting out in the concrete, and then you have to replace your roads every 5 years otherwise. That's another reason they don't use salt down here. It's because they don't put rust-proof rebars in to save money.
I was just going to say, I didn't hear no rust proofing in Carthage, and they used hella salt over there.
And where?
Carthage.
Italy?
Come on. How do you not know the amazing ancient Roman Empire?
Oh.
You uncultured swine.
That's what I was asking. I'm like, is there a Carthage, Texas I'm not hearing about?
There is also
Are you actually
Carthage,
talking
Texas.
About Carthage?
There probably is a Carthage, Texas
There
somewhere.
100% is a Carthage, Texas.
Or are you talking about the Carthage that was sacked by the Romans? I mean,
and then salted.
And
so
then
they
salted.
couldn't grow stuff back. because they're stupid
Again, in concentrated levels, salt can be very damaging. However,
and cursed.
Yeah, like
salt that's-
enough concentrated levels that you would use on thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands
Of roads.
thousands and thousands and thousands of miles of roads across Texas.
well,
Yes.
in Michigan,
Oh,
they
salt.
use salt in Michigan. It doesn't kill off anything.
Do you guys have a lot of wildflowers lining the roads?
Absolutely.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Are they made by salt?
Because when the snow melts, it dissolves it dissolves and dilutes the.
I don't know, dude. I'm just
salt.
giving you shit.
Oh, I
Yeah.
know. That's why I'm fighting back a
It
little
just
bit.
spreads. So you're saying you just like to spread
But-
the salt around?
I don't think anybody. I just don't think that it would have been
More salty.
FYI,
feasible enough to get in that much salt.
Yeah.
well, and again, Texas doesn't need it because how many times does this happen?
I
They said
would
the
s-
last time I got this cold for this long was in like the 1980s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1989.
Yep.
I would, if I'm not mistaken, the current trends from whenever I was looking this up, according to NOAA, there's a possibility for this to happen now between every 6 and 9 years.
You know where the polar vortex kind of goes off
Yes.
kilter?
But
Rant-
but not,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
any longer than they would say every 6 to 9 years, but also possibility between 4 and 20. Pretty frequently here. So
In fact, it was below freezing 8 days straight, which we never have here.
Yeah, no, that's crazy, dude. It's just.
It was just a weird.
I was just like, yeah, whatever. It's gonna blow through. You know, like,
and then we kept waking up. It's like, what the fuck, man?
man.
All I'm
Right?
saying-
That's like honestly,
are-
that's just like that's the thing is the joke down here is if you don't like the weather, just and that might be a common joke in other states.
Even
as well.
Jim Spencer was freaking out.
But-
He was a meteorologist with KXAN. He goes, ugh, 5 winter storms in 7 days. And then Google would say, well, your route might be affected by Winter Storm Uri. I go, Uri? Really?
I think it was
Not
Uri.
Not
Uri.
not
And who?
not
What?
Snowpocalypse.
Uri.
St. Valentine's Day Massacre 2021 snowstorm.
No,
Well,
Katrina.
what madman named a snowstorm Yuri and didn't expect
Didn't expect some backlash from that.
Yeah, I mean,
how about Snowvid 21? That would have been a bit better.
the last
name.
time somebody experienced
This is
this
snow-
much unexpected winter was Hitler and Napoleon before that. So
and Russia.
So we got a shout out from a listener, a brand new listener. Welcome, MB. He said he was directed to us by the Tom Gully Show. So I Googled it real quick, came up. He has a Facebook page, the Tom Gully Show. Unfortunately, he was live 5 hours ago, so I don't know if Tom's watching, but I saved the page. I'm going to check him out. I'm going to check out Tom Gully. According to the listener MB, so we might get along. So hopefully we'll have a little professional relationship here. Maybe have him on the show. Maybe I'll come on and go on his show. I don't know.
Yeah, you do something, man.
Do something about it.
Yeah.
I have to find out about him. I don't know anything about his show. I don't know if he might talk about,
Anyone-
Anyway,
stuff. It says have an eargasm. I don't know.
oh
And then once everything thawed out,
Have an eargasm.
The-
You
the-
know about Tom Gully?
no, I don't know about
no,
Tom
once it was
Gully.
able to drive out, were you like
The
once it
Whataburger
thawed
lines.
out, were you able to drive your little Barbie Jeep?
Yeah.
go and-
Did the Barbie fun car make it around?
Well, I was over here just eviscerating people's hopes and dreams with Ashley listening to
On a
Beach Boys, and
on a USB speaker that he got out of my garage because he
Yeah.
has no radio.
I was out jamming super hard. I even cleaned out the back of my goddamn
Clean
truck.
it out. Yeah, now you got to clean out the garage, asshole.
what did you clean out your truck finally after
Yeah.
like
A
2
year.
years?
Yes.
Yeah, it's all in the garage. As you walk
No.
out the garage to the left, it's sitting right there in a pile.
Well, no,
Listen, you little hobbit, it's okay to throw things away.
no, those are.
I go out to get in the car. I open the door and like all this shit just falls out on the ground. I'm like, it's like 10 degrees out. I'm trying to get in your truck so we can go have fun. And now I gotta go get a garbage bag.
Man, there was
He goes, no man, just throw it in the back. I'm like, God, Mike.
You got to do your part to compact it. You have to like smash it all down.
when we went and picked up Patty and
Hannah.
and Hannah,
I had to like fold my seat up, and it was like.
You know how you get a running start on stuff?
Yeah.
So he was lifting the seat up, and then he'd have to like pound it back to to get the seat locked, so Patty and Hannah could get in the back. And then where did we go? We went somewhere, and I got out to go do something. Came back, and Hannah freaking seat checked my ass.
We were going to the
Damn.
gas station and
Seat checked me hard, man.
Hannah
I was like,
dude,
Hannah, what the hell?
She's like, my
Yeah.
feet are still cold, and because she
That's
was just
awesome.
wearing like slippers, so I put her up front.
The smallest person gets in the front seat.
Yeah, the shortest two people were in the front seats, and like the
And
back
she
seat in
comes,
that
we're
isn't
going on the
acceptable.
adventure. Oh, so anyway, here's the story. So we get a call from our friend Patrick, Danger Davis, who's usually on the show. He's not here, but and his fiance. It was Monday. So Monday, he's like, I got to go. He's the manager at a restaurant in Georgetown. Well, I'll say it. We can say it, right?
I don't
Fish
think it
City
matters.
Grill. I don't care. Fish City Grill. Because we helped save their food, so they owe us a little. We can promo them a little bit. So we go pick up Patty and Hannah, and Hannah comes down in slippers, talking about my feet are cold. Well, get in, let's go. So we drove all the way up to Georgetown to go to the Fish City Grill, and then we packed all their food on ice because they had no power. So we saved their whole inventory of salmon and everything up there. Make sure you visit up there. And in payment, all the soup that they're going to throw out, the clam chowder. What else do we get? Gumbo. Jalapeno soup and gumbo. We had like 5-6 gallons of it in bag. Anyway, so we're so we came back, and of course we had to pick up alcohol. Had a bonfire in the backyard. It's like 18 degrees out. We're out in the backyard drinking, and then we ended up at Patty's house, didn't we? Everything's kind of a blur after that. I hadn't gotten that drunk in a while.
I saw a video of Davis jumping into this giant hill
Yeah,
of
that
sand.
was on the way. That was on the way up. That was on the way up when he jumped into the snowdrift. Yeah. Yeah, Randy Fry says the new road de-icer is super beat molasses. Is that true, Randy, or are you just messing around? Anyway, but that was our adventure, and we got a bunch of soup out of it. So,
How much clam chowder did you guys get?
God, a ton.
No, I'll eat a few bowls of that.
I didn't offer. So anyway, well, that was a fun story, and now we just kind of stopped. Did you just crop dust? You mother trucker!
What are you drinking right now? Water. Oh, it looked from right here. It looks like a bottle of champagne that you were just drinking out of.
Hey, your boy just crop dusted us out here too.
Yeah, well, you deserved it.
Yeah, kind of. No, because he had the hand sanitizer.
Oh wait, I didn't fart over there.
You didn't?
No.
It wasn't me.
It's just dirty.
Radar?
Radar might have dusted us.
She's looking at us.
Did you dust
She
us,
looks
Radar?
us. She's giving us the guilty look.
Radar's the best co-host ever. So anyway, that's my funny story. Let's take a break.
Sorry, I was reading about. So, did you ever? Do you know who Sophie? Sophie Scholl is?
No.
Have you ever heard of Sophie Scholl? She was a like a anti-Nazi. I want to say like propagandist, but she was like a little rebel in Germany during the Nazi occupation, and she was executed by guillotine today.
Today?
Well, not today. February 22nd, 1943.
Oh. So the anniversary of
So
today.
the anniversary, of her execution is today. Well, not really an anniversary, but
And what did she do?
she was a member of this group called the White Rose, and they would get together and learn about the philosophies and discuss politics and religion and everything. And they got a typewriter and a like a printing press or something like that, and started distributing anti-Nazi propaganda like pamphlets throughout the neighborhoods, and she was kind of like a spy because the SS officers, at the time were less inclined to, I guess, stop and question her. So that she was a important member of the group, and the anniversary was today. I just thought it was interesting. We never really learned about like these type of rebellious groups, resistance groups. There
Resistance
you go.
groups, yeah.
Resistance groups in Europe.
That was in France, right?
No, this was in Germany.
In Germany. Actual Germany.
Actual German resistance
To Nazis.
And I don't know. So I always thought that was really interesting. She
What was her name?
Also, incidentally, today is the anniversary of the origins of the phrase "that chick lost her mind."
Yeah.
Sorry.
What's that from?
I don't know. Just making a bad joke.
Going out in the left field into deep space.
She died by guillotine. Get it?
Let's talk about the
right,
Mars.
let's
Talk about the Mars rover when we get back.
Now, both you guys are on conversation probation.
Me, I want to talk about the Mars rover.
You're guilty by association.
Anyway, yeah. So Davis, she's it's actually kind of like her story is a little bit inspiring. Because
They shut his microphone
she,
off.
oh, his
Your microphone's been muted.
Yeah.
That's
Wait, whose mic is muted?
Anyway, is your mic on? I think your mic is on. Anyway. So yeah, man,
Yeah. How you been?
pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. It's been pretty good.
Have any good soups lately?
Good soups? No, I actually had chili and tamales a lot while we were bunkered down, and
God, look how mad they are out
he's
there.
so frustrated. That's what you
I
get
know.
for making shitty fucking jokes.
Yeah, how dare
about
you?
Actual goddamn heroes
How
in history
dare
that people
you?
don't learn about enough.
Hold on. I need to get a good how dare you for this. Give me a second before
Yeah,
we
go
to
for it.
break. This is going to take a second. Hold on. I got this. Come on. I got this. Come on.
Are you looking it up, or you're gonna? I can't use this garbage fucking mouse either. Do you have an?
Dude, I don't know. It's not me. You
Right.
know. I mean, you'll get used to it. I mean, we have somebody that worked that uses one, so.
That somebody that we work with that uses this.
Yeah,
Anyway,
the
we're gonna take a break while Davis is looking up this thing, and I'm annoying the host of the show. But
How dare you?
oh, damn it!
He's so mad.
I'm so mad.
Yeah, he is.
I don't know what the hell is going on. Oh, if I knew how to use this fucking mouse.
Hi, we're here at the Northern Walnut Creek here in Austin, Texas. And me, being a specialized biologist, I am amazed by the amount of flora and fauna in this area. I mean, look at all this stuff. You got trees, you got grass, you got water amphibians, you got water fish, you got birds, you got flying animals, all types of creatures that you can witness on the Animal
You have a
Planet,
taser?
but you don't need to watch the Animal Planet. You just come out here to Northern Walnut Creek Trailhead here in northern Austin. Let me give you a lesson, kids, about biology. See this piece of leaf right here? This leaf, this piece of grass, this piece of vegetation is possibly 33 million years old. How do I know that? Just by looking at it. If you get a degree in biology, like I did at the University of Phoenix, what you will be amazed by is the fact that you could just look at vegetation and guess with high accuracy the age of that piece of vegetation. Let me ask you this. How old do you think this vegetation right here is? Well, I can tell you right now. This vegetation that I am holding in my hand is at least 162 million years old. You might be asking yourself, how is that even physically possible, sir? How do you even know that? Well, that's because I'm a genius. We also have a little bit of littering. I do not appreciate when people litter out here. We got bottles, we have pieces of gum and wrap and whatever nonsense we have out here. But you know what? I'm going to compose myself, and I'm going to remind myself that these who are littering in this beautiful creek will get their comeuppance. They will get their comeuppance. And also, what we have over here is some... There it is! A sign! That was a Canadian catfish. How do I know that? Just by the splash? Because I'm a genius. I'm a trained and well-educated biologist from the University of Phoenix. I would know these things, okay? That was a Canadian catfish, okay? Let's see if there's anything else over here. Oh, snap. That right there wasn't a stick that was thrown, obviously. That was... Did you hear that? That was definitely a raven. Not a crow, a raven. A Canadian raven. Now, you might be asking yourself, why are there so many Canadian ravens here in Texas? Well, that's a good question that a lot of the professors at the University of Phoenix would know. So as we continued in this beautiful, beautiful park, oh, that was definitely something. That was probably a North African squirrel. It's very hard to spot them, but they were imported into the United States in 1806. Oh, what was that? Well, judging by the loud splash, that was probably another Canadian catfish. I don't know. I think if we just wait and listen, we'll see a mackerel. That's right. A North American mackerel. That was another North African squirrel, but we're looking for a mackerel, a North American mackerel who treads these waters. There it is. There it is, the North American mackerel. Two of them. Two North American mackerels. Oh, it's just such a beautiful day today. Oh, three of them. Three North American mackerels. And yes, we got the North African squirrel again, but four North American mackerels. That was a snail.
All right, welcome back to the show. Little skit from Mad Circus. It's a group that I'm part of. Hello.
Sorry.
That's all right.
I am not.
Are you on Instagram?
What?
On
I'm still muted.
Are you on Instagram? I was going to send you a link.
No, not at all.
A young lady had sent me a video to play, or a music video.
Who? Leland sent you a video?
No, a young lady.
That's
How
what I
did you
said.
get
Say
Leland?
Leland?
Oh, yeah, it was the Barbie Jeep.
Yeah.
That is your car's new name, by the way.
No.
It is the Barbie Jeep.
No.
El Barbie Jeep.
El Barbo.
No.
El Barbo.
Speaking of which, apparently Jeep is getting pressure from the Cherokee Nation to change the name.
No, they are not getting it. They are not getting pressure from the Cherokee Nation. They are getting pressure from a bunch of white people who are offended in the name of the Cherokee Nation.
I thought it was the chief of the Cherokee Nation, but they should all say go fuck off. It's the Grand Cherokee.
Well, before that, it was just the Cherokee. XJs are way better than...
Oh, yeah, the XJ was a tank. It has the AW4 transmission. I don't discount that at all. The ZJ's not bad, but the XJ is the ultimate one. That's why they're worth like $10,000 in good condition.
So, while everybody is down... Oh, by the way, back just one more thing about the whole weather situation we had here in Texas. Today it was 72 degrees. I was in my shorts and flip-flops.
Yeah, this was horse shit, because when I woke up first thing this fucking morning,
It was nice.
I was like, oh, what time is it? Oh, it's about 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to go outside.
And then I go outside to go start my truck, and it's like 37 fucking degrees. And I'm like, what the hell is this shit?
Yeah, it was 38 when I was on post last night.
And I was like, this is stupid.
So anyway,
And Mike, I do
anywho,
appreciate you helping me fix the replace the air conditioning compressor a few months ago.
I did.
Anywho,
Yeah, by like...
no
end of the-
tragedy should go to waste.
Oh, yeah.
One politician decided to go to Cancun. Our own Ted Cruz
The cruise missile launched himself to Cancun.
said, "Screw this! I'm going to warmer weather." But
According to Ted Cruz, he thought Texas would be happier without him. There was somebody published an op-ed that was supposed to be written by Ted Cruz, and it was by far the funniest goddamn thing I've ever read in my whole life.
send me the link. I'll read it. Anyway, but another politician who doesn't like Ted Cruz, who is convinced that Ted Cruz ordered to have her killed during the riots in the Capitol, decided that she was going to step in and save Texas. So she raised a whopping, gargantuan amount of money, $3 million,
That's cool.
and came down here to Houston
Oh.
to, lend support to all us Texans who are apparently
AOC
small
went to
children
Houston?
who can't take care of ourselves in cold weather. When I'll tell you this,
Did Houston get hit that bad?
when
Yeah.
the when
Water
the
and
news
power, yes.
when the news says one thing, I suggest everybody just walk out your front door and go see what's going on for real. There were still people moving around. My roommate was one of them. I was one of them. A lot of communities came together. I don't know what the death count for this event was, but it's extremely low. And
I think it's up, like, at least for Texas. I would say directly.
There was a lot of hoard buying at
directly
at Walmart.
attributed-
hold on,
Hey, Leland, Davis is already talking.
Yeah.
you
Raise
got
your
the
hand.
you got the button in there.
Yeah.
I do.
No, like, I would say, if I'm not mistaken, as of right now, directly attributed to this is literally, like, I think up to 60 to 70 people.
So 60 to 70 people out of a state of, what, 37 million?
Yeah, out of a shit ton. And,
So-
like, some of it was, like, if you look, it was, like, and I'm sorry, and I'm about to go on a rant here. Do not run fucking propane stoves or sit inside your car in your garage because you will get carbon monoxide poisoning. And carbon monoxide is bad.
Yeah.
And that happened a lot.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of those. And then there was another one, and this one I felt really bad about. It was a lady who was over by Houston, and she lost her 3 kids and her mom in a house fire.
Oh, man.
Because, yeah, she had, like, they just
Candles.
left a fireplace running,
Yeah.
and it caught on fire, and it burnt down her house. And basically, if I'm not mistaken, she kind of, like, woke up halfway through, and then she woke up, like, a few hours later in a hospital. It's like, where the hell am I? What the hell happened? And, yeah, she kind of found out that she lost a bunch of her family, so that was really sad. There was another one where a dude was found frozen to death in his lazy boy. And I was like, damn. That must be a comfortable ass chair.
There was a
was-
kid that died up in Dallas.
Yeah. No, that's,
He in his room in his
Yeah.
mobile home.
yeah, there was a,
But
another.
I mean, that goes back to like just stuff being built in Texas,
It's not
not
really,
being built for that.
Well, and and I hate to, and I have empathy for that family, and it's tragic when you
Yeah.
lose a young child like that. But here's my question: if it's that cold, why is the kid in his room by himself? Especially if he doesn't have enough blankets or clothes or whatever to stay warm. Now I get it, but if you're a family of 4 or 5 and it's that cold, you go to a room, you all go into that room, and you use combined body heat to stay warm. You don't stick a kid, especially a small child, off on his own unless he has enough covers to cover up and stay warm. Now, I don't know the whole story behind it. And of course, it could be the kid just might have been like, like kids do. They get all independent, and mom was tired of hearing her shit. It's like, yeah, go off and do your own thing then,
Yeah.
or whatever. I don't know what, but to put the blame on politicians and to put the blame on other stuff when there's people directly involved, of the care and custody of that child, they are to blame. They are the ones directly responsible.
Yeah.
Now, I can understand if it's something outside of their control, which is like the weather, but even when it's really, really cold, you can get to places to warm up. Whether it's a car, make sure the tailpipe's cleared out and you're not sitting in the garage with the garage door closed. Whether it's another family member, like his mom or dad, get in a sleeping bag, blankets, clothes, layers. I mean, Mike and I were in this house with no heat.
Yeah, it was
we
awesome.
didn't freeze to death.
Or find friends that still have power. We took in a couple friends. In fact,
Oh yeah, I mean,
one of the
somebody
friends you
they could
actually-
have they could have went somewhere.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. I mean,
Well,
the kid didn't
they
have to
coulda- they
die.
Probably, I mean, maybe they didn't.
Another somewhere, meaning another room, because the rest of the family didn't die. Just
Yeah.
this child died of the cold.
I mean, they might have.
apparently.
I don't know. I just remember, the headline was about the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there was.
Okay. Alex sent me the link. The principal chief of the Cherokee Nation has asked Jeep to stop using the tribe's name on SUVs. Grand Cherokee is brand's best-selling model, which is basically a Dodge. What's the Dodge SUV?
It's the
It's like a Dodge Durango.
The Durango is actually based off the same platform.
No,
as-
the Jeep is based off the platform of the
No,
Durango.
not
Dodge is the parent company. Don't interrupt me.
Dude,
The Jeep Durango, and they're all crap. All the Jeeps now are crap. They're
Stellantis,
garbage.
yeah.
They are freaking garbage, except for maybe the Wrangler. But even then, it's trying hard to not be garbage. But most Jeeps are worthless.
I like the new Grand
especially somebody that owns a Jeep that couldn't drive
It
it.
goes out to get coffee.
That goes out to get coffee and gets
gets-
freaking stuck.
It gets explored.
Yeah. So anyway, says, I think the day and age of this country where it's time for both corporations and team sports to retire the use of Native American names, images, and mascots from their products, team jerseys, and sports in general. I'm sure this comes from a place that is well intended, but it does not honor us by having our name plastered on the side of a car. Chief Chuck Hoskin Jr. I'm going to let you marinate on that for a second. Chief of the Cherokee Nation said in a written statement.
He's still the chief of the Cherokee
Don't they
Nation.
get money?
I know, but, come on.
Don't they get?
I'm Hispanic and my last name is Aspenlighter.
I know, but you're not fully Hispanic either.
Don't
Yeah,
they-
actually I am.
No, you're not.
You're half.
You're a third.
No, I'm half Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
It still makes me Hispanic.
But I would say
But you're also half
as the
Norwegian.
person of color in this household, I get to deem who's a minority and who's not.
And
Number
you
one,
are
Leland-
half. You are also half.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wait a minute, hold on.
You claim
Between the both of you and their
1/16.
between
No,
both of you and their
1/16.
between both of you and there, you make one full minority.
yeah, and also, I mean, here's the thing: I speak more, as I like to call it, ethnic languages than Alex, so I'm more minority-ish.
That's true.
Yes, Leland, you are 100% white. If you come back with that 1/16 stuff, I'm literally just gonna say you're white. You're a white male. So,
That all being said,
Now, here's I mean, I get it. I get the mindset behind these mascots being changed, and
I've never heard of Notre Dame bitching.
but
Literally,
Yeah.
the fighting Irish.
fighting
They're
Irish
like,
or the Cowboys or
the cow.
yeah, the Cowboys with the caricature of the mascot running around looking all goofy, or the 49ers. I mean, it's the same thing.
Or the Sooners.
Or the Browns.
Or the Sooners. The Browns are named after a coach, Paul Brown.
Or how about the Blackhawks? They're actually they
That's
made
an
a-
Indian name.
Yeah, they
that's
made
the
a
one
point
that's
they're
going
not
to
gonna-
change.
No, they're actually made a point that they're going to not change the Blackhawks. They made a big point that they're
Yeah,
not
remember
gonna do
remember
that.
when Schrader said that about the Redskins? I'm sorry, Washington football team.
They could have came up
the,
with a more
the
creative
Cleveland
name.
baseball team.
Well, here's the thing. If you want to wipe out all use of Indian names and segregate the Native Americans from the culture of America, if the liberal progressives want to do that, if the Native Americans want to do that and segregate themselves and separate themselves, which is the direction of identity politics is going right now, that we need to segregate the races, segregate the natives basically segregate everybody from anybody from America from European descent, which is going backwards from what we've evolved from 1968 and before that.
Yeah, are we going to bring back?
Understand?
Are we going to bring back the water fountains for each ethnicity again?
Understand that.
Fuck up, Leland. God damn it.
God damn it, Leland.
Understand.
You don't get to use any. There's a height requirement for fucking
Water fountains.
from now on.
Do not make me go get my accordion.
There's
Okay. Listen, user of
you have to put your armpit
Okay.
to the fountain.
Listen.
That way it can judge your.
You guys
PO
stop
before we
piling
can-
on to the guy that uses a special urinal. Okay.
God damn.
The point I'm trying to make is this.
Extra chromo.
No.
The point I'm trying to make is this. If we are truly evolving into a society of acceptance, of equality, of
Yes.
opportunity, of getting past this identity politics and all this other stuff, then all this stuff like this, like the naming, I mean, if you think about it, all of our helicopters in the United States military are named after warrior tribes of our Native Americans to honor that heritage.
Yeah, for the army.
Is it
Wait,
to
the
honor
Huey-
or did
wait,
it
the
just
Huey?
sound cool?
No.
Well,
the
it's
Huey
both.
was the Iroquois.
I tell you
Like,
what,
hell
you
yeah,
get.
man,
I
we'll
tell you
throw
what.
the-
I tell you
the
what.
Black
Would you?
Walrus,
the
Would you
attack
rather?
helicopter and
Would you rather
Apache,
get?
And they can throw tomahawk
Would you
missiles.
rather get lit up from 4 miles away from a Apache attack helicopter or the Bell UH-61H?
That sounds sweet.
Yeah. Well, because
Okay, so
you got the
since my son
Chinook.
likes to irritate me and take whatever opposite side I'm on,
What are you talking
we are
about?
just going to get rid of all of it. It's going to be nomenclatures from now on out. And now I guarantee
Hell
you,
yes.
we do that, and in 3 years, the R2D2 and C3PO clubs of America will say, no more.
can't just come. Oh my god!
It's a joke.
But Master Mike,
Tribe
Holy
number
shit.
CH47, you are under arrest.
You are under arrest.
And then after that, we just go and laser beam their asses.
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
Pew, 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 pew.
It was a joke. I can't even tell jokes now. My own show.
I'm
That was brilliant. Okay, the losing the head thing might have went too far. That last one, that was a good joke. That was well crafted.
CH47 tribe. Then
That's called the Chinook. That's named after a fish.
no, that's a tribe.
And a fish.
let's see. You have the Black Hawk. You have the Cobra.
Now that one I can see changing because that has evolved. The Chinook is actually, it's called a shit hook
Yeah, because they keep
because it
crashing.
picks up because it picks up shit. And the Cobra,
Hell yeah!
It's named
Cobra's
after
sweet.
Cobra Commander. Yeah, of course.
Cobra Commander.
Yeah. No. Anyway, what were you saying there, Leland? About something being something or whatever.
He doesn't know.
The Huey?
The Huey.
That's the Iroquois.
Okay, and then
Yeah.
so
Well-
the Cobra is the only one that's not named after a tribe.
Well, it's basically just
Well, the Huey never picked up on its Native American name because
dumbass.
Huey is from the UH.
Yeah.
It's like Jeep.
Yeah.
Jeep
Was
is general
GP.
purpose.
Yeah.
Just enough parts.
No, it's from general purpose. When the Jeep
Yeah.
first came out from the Ford Motor Company for World War II,
Just
it was
like-
a general purpose quarter ton.
Or like Humvee is like HWMMYV.
And the reason
High mobility.
and the-
Hold on, Humvee. High mobility, multi-purpose vehicle.
Yeah.
Humvee.
High mobility, my ass.
Hey, the actual military Humvees, not the pieces of shit that they're pawning off to the civilians, which is basically just a really crappy body stuck on a regular SUV
Chevy
body.
Yeah, Chevy pickup truck.
When they gave us those things, and I first got the Humvee in Korea when I was stationed in Korea in 1986 was when they came out, and the thing was you would get a weekend pass if you could get one stuck, and not many people got one stuck. Those things were awesome.
How many times did you get a weekend pass?
I never got one. I never could get mine stuck.
Oh, really?
I drove it into a freaking river. Dude, I drove that thing into a river, and my lieutenant was like, if you get it stuck, you get a 3-day pass. And I took a hard left, went right into a river, went right to the deepest part. I mean, you could feel like the tires losing grip at the bottom. We were up to my chest, and it just drove right through it. I'm like, son of a bitch.
I would have to see if my dad has the pictures.
Because we had the snorkels and stuff on it. We had the cool Humvees.
I have to see if my dad has the picture somewhere. I remember he showed it me this one time, but he was there helping to do something great in air assault, where they pushed Humvees and the Air Mobile Sheridan tanks out of the back of a C-141.
That's just badass.
And then they just nosedived both into the ground.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah." So we were looking, and there's this tank just like, and there's
Biggest-
a Humvee next to it, just like in this soft, muddy field.
Biggest myth about the Humvee? Not bulletproof. As a matter of fact, the Humvee, the way it's constructed, the military Humvee, it's basically an engine and drivetrain with the seats and stuff kind of bolted on outside of it, and it's all plastic. So you run into anything, it's not. It doesn't, like on the TV where they had them busting through walls and stuff. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
That's for weight purposes, right?
No, it's just not built that way.
Yeah,
It was built out of polymer fiberglass for weight, so they could drop it, and then all the hard points and the frame. The frame was basically a big C. What do they call them? C beams.
A C channel.
A C channel, 2 C channels, which were about 1/4 inch thick. And that held the engine, the drivetrain, and then the tires came off that C, and then everything else was built around it. So
They had these really cool axles too.
So
which
yeah, it was all independent.
and it kind of did this. I think they're called Porter axles.
No, it was just independent. They were all independent.
But that also gave it more ground clearance.
It gave more ground clearance, so it could always keep a wheel on the ground. I mean, they were just a fantastic vehicle, but it wasn't bulletproof, and you couldn't drive it through walls because the plastic part and the thin metal that held the seats and the gas tank. Well, the gas tank was up inside, but all the stuff around it that held the seats and the benches and everything else outside of the hard points would easily get crunched. It was not bulletproof.
That all changed in, I would say,
Yeah, now they're all up armored.
6. Then you got the Guat V's.
Yeah,
The
now,
Guat fees.
now they're all up armored and got armor on them. And now they do. But
5
I was
miles
talking
an
about when they first came out or on TV.
Everybody knows
they were driving them on TV, like on those action things where they shoot 3,000 rounds out of a magazine, and the Humvee's just driving through walls and driving over. No, that's
Everybody
not how it
knows
works.
the best Humvees don't even have tops on them.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's just like, I want 2 doors and then bench seats in the back, and then no top. That's
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah,
Let's
tow
go.
missile in
Let's
the
yeah.
trunk.
Let's go ahead and mount that tow missile carrier.
Yeah, because it's hot. Either that, or I would like the really cool ones for like the Met Elements that had the giant fiberglass bubble canopy on the top.
Oh yeah.
Those would be really dank.
Yeah, that
too.
would be sweet.
Yeah.
No, I'm more of a Unimog man myself.
Yeah, Unimog. It's Unimog.
Go ahead and
Just give me
Look.
a good old MRAP.
give me something that I
No,
feel
dude.
like I'm in a Soviet spaceship every time
Except
I'm
it's
inside of it.
glorious in German because the Unimogs are amazing. Either that or I had the opportunity to ride in one of those little Steyr Pinzgauers. Those things are
Penzgauer is pretty sweet
those
too.
things are also super dank. But yeah, if I had the money for a Unimog, I would do so much cool Unimog shit, especially because they made a 4-door pickup bed one.
Nice.
And the fact that its whole body and axle thing is like this crazy, it's all designed to kind of flex thing.
Volkswagen came out with a Jeep that was pretty sweet. It's not the 181.
It's called the Thing, right?
No.
No, that's the thing, which is just a post-war
It's,
Kubelwagen.
or they came out with their own kind of Humvee.
The Touareg?
No,
No.
it's
No.
the Volkswagen Iltis.
And
Yeah.
the Mercedes had the G-Class.
Yeah, the old G classes are pretty cool. You
Now
classes are
understand,
pretty cool
I just want to break everybody's bubble here. Every single vehicle from VW, Dodge, Chrysler, and Jeep are basically all the same frame, just different aesthetics.
And yet, think of you forgot Lotus now, and Peugeot.
No, they
Peugeot-
don't. No,
No, Peugeot just bought Fiat.
no, hold
Chrysler.
Yeah.
on. Here's an example.
Yeah.
Here's an example. That may be, but you're missing the point. Dodge Caravan my Chrysler Town and Country, the Volkswagen Touareg are all the same vehicle. Exactly. Except except for the outside aesthetics that make it a VW. Leland, it is exactly the same engine, drivetrain, dashboard. Look at it. What's different? What's different?
You're looking at so there was a minivan that Volkswagen contracted with Chrysler that was a rebodied Chrysler Town and Country, but that's not the Touareg. The Touareg is actually the same platform as the Porsche Cayenne, rear-wheel drive. The engine goes longitudinally versus.
What's the minivan?
The minivan is. Let me look that up. It's not. They had the European one called the Turin, which was not imported in the United States. Give me 1 second.
That's the Dodge.
VW
I mean, everything's the
minivan.
same. The dashboard and everything's the same except for the logo.
Rutan.
Rutan. That's it. I'm sorry. I misspoke. Not the Touareg.
Yeah, they actually paid Chrysler to build it for them.
Oh, yeah. We need to get a Unimog. I think that's our next buy.
A Unimog.
That's a funny way to say Toyota FJ70 or goddamn AE86.
We're getting the Mercedes Unimog or what?
Well, yeah, the Unimog's strictly a Mercedes thing. Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah,
That's the goofiest looking thing I've ever seen.
Whoa! How dare you call Unimog goofy?
That looks like a.
Unimogs are freaking sweet.
That looks like a bunch of Ukrainians delivering fruit to market from utility vehicles that picked up off the battlefield and pieced back together.
A Unimog was literally designed to be a farming implement, and they're like, "Wait, we could put like a backhoe on this thing." And they're like,
why not just get?
We could use it as a like. They even made a specific Unimog that the whole back end can drop, so you can pick up cars and just jack it back up. And they're like, Unimog could do it.
Why not just get a tank?
Okay, because there's this thing called the DOT. And I don't know if you've ever tried to drive a piece of heavy equipment before, Leland, but it's not okay on major roads where a Unimog, a Hyundai.
They typically don't like it when you drive an Abrams down 35.
Yeah, or a dozer, apparently.
Or a dozer.
An up-armored dozer, yeah. Think of all the time and effort it took to weld that together just to have somebody get butthurt over running over parked cars. God damn him. Think of the effort, man.
Yeah. No, that's why, Leland.
Go file your insurance claim and leave me the hell
Funny
alone.
thing is, in England, you can actually drive tanks on the road legally.
You could drive it here technically also. Legally.
Technically, if it has a plate on it.
Yeah, and you just have to...
I mean, you'd piss off a lot of people because you can't really go over 40 miles an hour, but...
Yeah, you would also...
Dude, wasn't there a guy in like Nevada or some shit like that stole a tank?
No, it was a bulldozer.
No.
Oh, yeah, the National Guard guy. The
yeah,
National Guard guy.
Dude who snapped and like
Yeah.
Well, there was a
He stole that. No, it wasn't a tank.
Diego.
It was a howitzer.
No, there was
It was in San Diego, I think.
Yeah, there was a guy who stole an M60 Patton tank. Then there was
Oh, that was back in the 70s, wasn't
yeah,
it?
then there was another dude
90s?
who, like
90s.
recently who like ended up stealing like an M113.
Right, like an APC, right?
Yeah, and just like went and just like hauling ass down the highway.
Wasn't that in like the Carolinas?
Yeah, it was in like Georgia or North Carolina. Or
Yeah,
some
if you're gonna take a vehicle that can really take a pounding, the
just
M113,
take-
all aluminum.
I'm just gonna steal this
V6.
aluminum box and just haul ass down the highway. Like, I don't blame you. I'd be cool. Free box.
That's some free box. Yeah.
Hey, we need something to carry your troops.
No, but I remember seeing like in America's Most Wanted or America's.
Yeah, it might have been the one where that guy stole like an Army Reserve Patton tank in California and just ran over a bunch of cars and
Yeah,
shit.
that was in the 90s.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
did that.
No,
Yeah. It was a National Guardsman who got pissed off about something or other.
Yeah, and he stole a tank, and I was like, dude,
I'll just
fuck
steal a
yeah.
tank.
Let's take another break and play one of the Fairy Godmother Ninja. Just to keep everybody interested, because the season finale and season 2 will start filming this summer, and my character actually has an expanded role. I'm excited about it.
I'm about to expand your role.
Also coming up, while Alex is getting that ready, just letting everybody know I'm part of a series called "It's Crazy Out." It's crazy out there, and as soon as we get some crowdfunding information together, we are going to reach out to the listeners of the show and the internets and see if people can help us crowdfund that. So we are trying to get this series put either on one of the platforms like
iTunes?
Not iTunes.
IMBD.
Apple TV, IMDb's. Well, it's already going to be on IMDb, like Netflix, Prime, and have them pick it up as a series. If they do that, then I will have a job. Unless my character gets recast, which I hope it doesn't. But
I have to keep making shitty jokes.
yeah, making horrible jokes, absolutely atrocious. Those were good jokes. A little cold. Well, this is a tough audience in here.
That was last week.
You know, but all 5 people watching the show like that joke.
You just gotta, have a
Didn't we have 7 before the
higher
joke happened?
level of intelligence for. You gotta raise that. You gotta raise the bar.
That was
for
a
those
well
jokes.
thought out joke.
That was pretty low.
It was a well thought out joke.
Let's not look down here. You gotta be up here.
Well, I mean,
You
I'll
gotta
work
be. You gotta
Jeffrey.
be.
I mean, Jeffrey Dahmer.
I thought it
You gotta
was.
be
well,
reaching.
well thought out his
Whereas,
plan too. You know.
you're at Leland height. You gotta be a little bit. I'm
Now you're just being mean.
I know. I'm sorry.
All right, let's take a break. I'm Mike Allen. This is the Radio Man Cave, and you are on the air. We'll be right back.
The Girl Scout cartel are at war with the Blood Anarchist Lactose Lunatic Society, or BALLS. I don't like to get involved with politics, so I don't really follow their specific platform and policies. All I know is the Scout cartel colors are pink, and the balls are blue. My favorite color is blue, so I'm rooting for BALLS.
You heard the news of the Balls raided the Girl Scout capital?
Oh, no, did they overthrow them?
Nah. GS Cartel released their highly trained bears, pushed the Balls back like a winter morning swim in the Colorado River.
Too bad.
Whoa, dude! WTF? What the? Is that on your face?
Oh, it's eczema. It's nothing.
No. That is not eczema. You have the plague, bro.
No, I have dry skin, and it just like flares up every now and then. It'll go away. I promise. It's nothing. It's fine.
Just stay here. I'm gonna get that.
All right.
Hi.
Hello, my fellow post-apocalyptic brother.
I was wondering if you would sign this petition to help me save the dolphins.
The dolphins?
Yeah.
I don't know how to tell you this, friend, but pretty sure they all left. You know, when the bombs fell. You know.
What?
Yeah, they're gone.
I've dedicated my entire life to trying to save the dolphins. You're telling me that there's nothing left to save?
Hey, look, man, there's still plenty of other animals out there. I mean, there's tigers being tortured and abused. And...
Oh, that bitch Carol Baskin!
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, don't do that. It's okay. It's okay. You know, you can still go out there and raid and pillage and plunder like everyone else. I mean, you'll find purpose again. Oh, come on.
Can I come in? I need to collect myself. I don't want them to see me like this.
I don't think anybody can see you under all this
Thank
stuff.
you.
Okay, just don't take my shit, because I really don't have any shit to... Hold on. God damn it. Okay. Hey, there, buddy. It's all right here. Just have a seat. Just sit down right here. Hey, I'm gonna get you a towel. Okay, yeah. And hey, if you promise not to murder us, you can have some Doritos. All right? Okay. Just sit right there. All right. It's gonna be okay. Oh no, dude! Well, you can't just eat our guests! Bad roommate. It's a very bad roommate. What am I supposed to do with this guy?
Nice.
That was a good episode. The guy that played the guy trying to save the dolphins is a friend of mine, Al Kafji, who I was in a lot of his shorts, movie shorts and skits and stuff.
Oh, nice.
Very funny. Well, what do you guys want to talk about?
How about the Mars landing?
Oh, my God. We're on with a drone. They have a drone.
And it's also, yeah, exactly.
It's like an aerial drone?
Yeah, an aerial drone.
And the rover itself has microphones, so you can actually hear the wind blow. And the cool thing, and I sent it onto the cast group chat, is that they had video going of the landing for the first time ever on not only the aeroshell, which had the parachute, but also the sky crane, which had the rocket motors. So you actually saw the parachute get deployed, and then you actually saw the heat shield get fall off the bottom, and you can actually see it descending to the ground. And then it had multiple cameras on the rover and the sky crane itself, where you saw it flying down, and then it hovered, and then it lowered the rover. And of course, the video cut out as soon as the cables were cut from the sky crane. But then you saw the camera from the rover itself pointing up. And you saw the sky crane fly off. They just released that video today, and Alex, it's in the group chat. Can you post it so the people could see it?
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. No, I was.
That's pretty cool that we're on Mars again.
I was reading up on what's on NASA's docket for the next couple of years, because I mean, they basically try to put out a timeline. One of them is they're going to be doing a mission. Like, it's going to be more or less like another one of those cool deep space probes. But it's going to be typically mostly for all the gas giants and stuff. You know, like Neptune and Jupiter and Saturn and everything. But one of them is they're going to try to shoot more or less like a thermometer kind of type device. And if you look it up, it's the REC TAL. Yeah, so RECTAL thermometer. And they're going to be trying to get it to actually, go into Uranus.
They're trying to probe Uranus.
And you're mad about my jokes.
And test the.
Yeah, he just went on for like a minute and a half, and I thought it was legitimate.
And just
and
went
then he
to
just
that.
No,
and then ended up with a bunch
it's about the long game. It's not about like, oh, here's this edgy punchline that I'll fucking throw in.
No,
there.
there's
Like, that was dedicated effort.
And it was horrible.
That was good.
Horrible? What is it called?
I mean, I'm not laughing my ass off crying, but I was like, oh, yeah, nice.
No, it's like a probe into Uranus to see what kind of gases
Yeah,
it
but
has.
did you hear the name
Yeah,
of it, though?
you don't have to mansplain it.
Yeah.
We got it the first time around.
Did you?
I think I did.
I did, and it was a ridiculous
What
joke.
was it?
I thought we were talking about Mars and something cool.
Yeah, we are. We're talking about
And so the rover itself is
rectal thermometers into your anus.
Well, the Mars probe itself, the rover, is actually plutonium powered. It doesn't have solar cells because, A, it's much bigger than the previous rovers that were sent in about 20 years ago. In fact, the previous ones, well, one, basically the motors stopped and it got stuck and it couldn't charge its batteries anymore. But another one lasted a bit, several years longer, like 5 years longer, and it eventually died because of a dust storm that covered up the solar cells. So the last two rovers are, I think it was Curiosity, and this one is Perseverance, which was made from.
Okay, so get back to the original thought because you're going way around.
It's nuclear powered.
Nuclear powered.
So you don't have to worry about.
So you don't have to recharge the battery solar.
Right, exactly,
solar. Okay.
and also because you could have it generates more power over a longer period, so you could build a bigger rover and have more scientific instruments. And what the cool thing about this rover is that they're actually going to take samples and store them for another craft to come and retrieve those sample vials and send them back to Earth.
So
now, how they're going to do that, they have no fucking clue.
What it's going to do, and let me summarize it
Elon
in a
Musk.
nutshell.
Exactly, Elon Musk.
Let me summarize it for Leland. Okay, Mars rover go chomp, 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 and eat surface of Mars, and then go poop, 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 poop. And then we're going to come by with literally an interstellar pooper scooper and grab the little Mars rover poop and pick it up. That's exactly what's happening.
All right.
I mean, I'm not wrong.
That's pretty. Yeah, that's a pretty good description.
Okay, now I had one good joke. He's back there with the worst. So anyway, Elon Musk is probably the one that's going to get the spacecraft built that will fly to Mars, get this stuff and bring it back. By that time, we should be heading to Mars. They're talking about going back to the moon in 2024.
Well,
it's not going to be 2024, knowing how many years the Artemis project.
I'm just telling you what I read. Man.
I know. That's their schedule.
We should have been back years ago.
20 years ago. We never
at least.
Well,
yeah, we shouldn't have abandoned the moon after Apollo. We just should have kept going.
The current game plan for it is, if I'm not mistaken, is what they're going to try to do is they're going to set up a base on the moon, and then more or less that they want to do. This is like from what I've heard between group talks between NASA, SpaceX, and all those other super sweet, space companies.
United Launch Alliance.
They want to build
Blue
like a
Origin
driver on the moon. So basically, they launch your ass to the moon. They wait until the moon lines up, and then they're just gonna like magnetically propel your ass off the moon towards Mars. So that's kind of the game plan.
That's kind of the jump start.
Yeah, and I was like,
well, we need instead of making a space station, we needed to be on the moon with a moon base doing all this stuff.
Well, yeah, because
which would have been way cooler.
Yeah, and I mean that's where we could have projects with lasers and stuff.
Well,
that's cool.
Yeah. They want to do some cool stuff with the moon.
It makes you wonder if any of the because a lot of the Apollo astronauts that landed on the moon are still alive, like Buzz Aldrin. It makes you wonder if they're going to have the opportunity to go back to the moon, or
well, Buzz is pushing 80.
Well,
so.
Jim Lovell, because he was on Apollo 13, never got to land, so that would be kind of a cool opportunity.
He's pushing. He's not buying ripe bananas either.
Yeah, I want to see people like Tommy Lee Jones in space.
Yeah.
Actually, Tom Cruise is going into space with the Axiom project, where they're going to actually rent one of the SpaceX Dragon capsules and go to the International Space Station to film a movie.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
That's badass.
It is.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to seeing the new Top Gun movie.
So I'm watching this Mars landing thing. It's pretty neat.
It was pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
Yeah. They were like, hold on, hold.
Well, I think it's, we have 2 planets in our solar system that have, life, and one of them is completely, the whole population is droids and robots. If you think about it.
And they got satellites orbiting it, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, one of them is a big-ass gas hole.
Actually, there's...
Looking at you, Jupiter.
4 of them. 4 of them.
Jupiter asshole. Can't land anything on you because you're just full of gas.
Yeah. I want to...
And speaking of hot air, may we have a moment of bloviating for the passing of Rush Limbaugh.
Master propagandist Rush Limbaugh.
But hey, he created the market, along with Roger Ailes, for us and others that have
Who's us?
You.
Talk shows.
Oh.
Political talk shows.
I'm not a political talk show, though. I'm just a general talk show. Okay. We talk politics, but...
We talk about plenty of other stuff.
Talk about plenty of other stuff, too.
Yeah, like the other day, I saw you on the corner leaning up against a post.
Would you take whatever he's drinking away from him, please?
He's just drinking water.
Oh. Yeah.
Take it away.
Was that a political or non-political post?
It might be what I'm smelling right now, because now this microphone's kind of dry and I have a little bit of a bloody nose. I wasn't joking about that. This is awesome.
Inhaling the gun cleaning fluid?
Yeah, no. Solvent's never good for you, but...
No, whatever. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
So,
that would be a cool road trip. Is going down to Boca Chica. Well, they're building the Mars spaceship in Boca Chica, which is at the southern tip of Texas.
Yeah, but like, what else is by there? By Boca Chica.
Mike, it's falling short, man. All your jokes here just kind of.
No, there wasn't a joke to it.
Okay.
I'm like legit like trying to like what the hell else is by there that's legitimately interesting that I would care about.
Boca Chica?
Boca Chica? No.
Or what did you say it was?
So there's Boca Chica.
Boca Chica.
Yeah.
Boca
So what
Chica.
else is down there by like Brownsville?
Oh, if it's down in the valley, man, kick-ass Mexican food.
Nah.
Yeah, they only have one Taco Bell in Brownsville because they got actual Mexican restaurants there that are right on the border that are just amazing.
Yeah, I would definitely not want to go down there. The last time I was down by the valley, I mean, Harlingen is aight, but like I did not have fun when I was down in the valley last time, so they can keep that, bruh.
Yeah, last time I was down there, I did a MMA event. That was a long drive.
Oh.
God dang, this state is huge.
Brownsville, Harlingen.
Didn't quite get to Brownsville. Laredo. No, Laredo's not in the valley. Is it?
Laredo's not in the valley, dude. I mean, Laredo's a weird shithole in and itself. I would
Great
say.
food, though.
Largest inland port in
Great
the
food.
country.
Yeah, Laredo's interesting. The last time I was there, and I was like, "Oh man, this is cool." I was super pissed though because I literally spent like 6 hours when I was in Laredo looking for pony boots, and I could not find any. I was furious because I really wanted to buy some sweet ass pointy boots. Because I know if I would have like brought some back, Alex would have been super jelly of my sweet ass pointy boots. So.
Did you have the curl in the toe?
Yeah, no, that's what I was looking for. I like wanted like some really obnoxious long ones that were like a foot long. And
Oh, they get some really obnoxious long ones.
yeah, I couldn't find any, and I was super mad because like, dude.
And then Eagle Pass is the one legal casino in Texas. Not very impressive casino, I might add.
No, I mean, it's Eagle
I spent a
Pass.
whole $1 there. I'm just like, yeah.
Why would you do that?
An Eagle Pass.
Yeah, that sounds negative fun. Like anti-fun.
Because I went to the Mossberg factory to pick up a shotgun barrel. That's why.
Why didn't you just have it shipped to you?
Because I wanted to see Eagle Pass.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, oh, man.
Well, this has been fun.
Oh, we
Yeah,
didn't talk
sorry,
about
we
Brady, did we?
What?
We didn't talk about Brady. 7 Super Bowl rings.
Yeah, he won 7.
Yeah, good job, Tom Brady.
Good job,
I hope
Tom
you
Brady.
Get super drunk. Keep doing your thing. Oh, I don't know if you guys saw it, but there's a video of 2 players for OU getting their shit stomped in a bathroom.
From Oklahoma, University of Oklahoma?
Yeah, from OU.
Why are they getting their shit stopped?
They were talking shit, and this one guy tried to start a fight with this smaller dude, and I guess him and his buddy do like MMA.
Oh, no.
And they just straight beat up the shit
That's a
out of
bad
these 2
day.
dudes.
That's a horrible day.
Yeah, that was all I really wanted to talk about. Other than, yeah.
Watched a couple documentaries over the
Oh,
weekend.
so who won the barbecue plate for the most accurate score?
John Deba.
Me.
Oh, no. For the score?
Yeah.
that was
I don't
me.
know. Was
That
it you, Mike?
Yeah.
Mike?
Yeah.
Closest without going over. Well, all right. Well, we're all thawed out here in Texas. Thank you for joining us tonight. We will be back here every Monday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, with more content. If you are a musician or if you're a content creator and you would like to have your stuff premiered here on the show, let me know. MikeAllenSports@gmail.com. Send me an email, and we'll get your content on here. Maybe have you in as a guest. So, good stuff. Thanks for taking the drive up here tonight, Alex. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks, BBs.
We'll see you next week. I'm Mike Allen. This is the Radio Man Cave, and you have been on the air.
Great job, team. Head back to base for debriefing and cocktails.